Hey Bob, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to look into your website and give you a website evaluation and analysis. My name is George and I'm with Digital Uptrend today. It's our honor and privilege to be doing this for you because we know you have an SEO company already and we'd like to just create this for you and get this done. So without any further ado, I'll get right into it. So, like I said, Bob, this website looks very clean. I didn't say it actually, I'm just saying it now, but it looks very clean. I'd really recommend having a logo though, it's very important. For example, you can also put the logo in here, which is very, very important when it comes to just the branding aspect of things. That's more of the design aspect of the website, not necessarily the SEO side, which we'll get to in a minute. But I would really highly recommend having a logo, which you can put here. For example, if you go to Google, they have their logo, just google.com. It's still a search engine. They have their logo, they have their little icon there. It's so important to help people recognize you very easily. And it helps Google to know what kind of people would be interested in. People do like companies that show a little bit of brandiness, and that's the most important thing. I do like this honest, fair. Maybe something that I would add on this contact page is maybe just a fill out form, the typical one. This looks cool. I like the idea of it, but the application of it is very different. For example, if you go on our own website, our contact page, I'm not saying it's perfect, but we have a similar kind of structure here. You just have your normal fill out and then there's a submit button. That's very important. It's the little things that matter in the website, and maybe people would be thrown off by this because when you're coming on a website and it just looks too throwing your face, you can it just maybe doesn't look as professional as it could. Whereas here we're looking at our website and you can put your name, you can put your services of interest, you can put anything you want, and if you want to schedule an appointment, you can do that as well. So that's what we do, and that's the most important thing just on our website. So having this contact page just be more interactive and less just because I don't know where to click if I was to want to send a message, because here it says send. It looks like a little funnel that you have going, but it just looks very unprofessional. So that's something that would massively be fixed. Don't know why this little bot button is here. I do understand the point of it, but I don't know why it's here specifically. So just something there, little minor detail. But also another thing is I don't see a call button anywhere. For example, if you go on our website, there is a call button. And if I can quickly look for it. So you can find the number, but then you can also click on the number and call. And that's the most important thing. So not on our website. Let's do something else. If you go on McDivitt Law Firm, which is a local law firm in Colorado Springs, we know you're based in Alaska, but they have a little button here that you can click. You can't see it, but I can. It's a button that says send it to your phone, and you can send this number to your phone and it will call it. So that's just something that people like. I think a lot of people do that these days. You have a number up here which you can't see. Let me just try and move my let me do something. But you do have a number up there, but you just can't click it. And that's something that's always alarming to me. It just shows that there hasn't been that much work done on the mega links and things of that nature. Also, just something that I just noticed right there, there's also this not secure button. If you go on Google or a website, there has a little lock there. That means the connection is secure. And also that means Google is more likely to place it higher in the searches because of the connection being secure. So having this not secure is basically telling Google that their customers' information is at risk. And Google obviously wants to always serve their customers. So if they know that your website domain type is not secure, and which they stop supporting .https or .http, so they stop supporting it and it's not secure, so they won't put your business higher in the searches because they want their customers to go on the best possible ones. It's just how it is for Google. Also, these menus, just something that I noticed. When I go on the Meet the Team, it just, the little .html is throwing me off, which is just a little bit unprofessional. For example, once again, I'm using the McDivitt Law Firm because they are about that. So this is your Meet the Team page. I'm sure if I click on their attorneys, it would take me to just /attorneys, and this is your team, obviously. I do like this, but if you look at this, for example, it gives information. It has a page on each person where it gives background information, detailed background information about each person, and it talks about them. It even has a video. It has quotes from customers they'd worked with. So that's something, and it has their qualifications, which I'm sure you do here with your things all over the place. But I would enjoy it if you had a little bit more. Is this in Alaska? I'm actually kind of curious now. Is this actually in Alaska? No, it is in Anchorage, Alaska. So that's just something that is very, very small, but it's so important. Because if Carl Cook here has more information about him, what if someone in Alaska, in your local area, actually knows Carl Cook, or someone asked him and said, hey, look up this guy, Carl Cook, he's a great lawyer. And they search that name. If Carl had a page on him, it would just be a lot more information that Google is getting from you. And therefore, it would help you rank much higher in the searches. And that's something that's very small again, but it's very important. I notice, we'll get to the more in detailed stuff quickly, but I notice you also don't have a blog page. Blogs are so important to keep the content fresh, to keep trying to get into searches through different keywords. If you make more blog posts about things in relation to law and lawyers and things like that, that will definitely help Google to know, okay, I want to rank them higher when people are searching this term in this city. So that's the most important thing. But here, I do like the services page. I would like maybe child custody has its separate page. Like I said, let's keep going to the McDivitt Law Firm. Very perfect example. Cases we handle, which is their type of cases. You can click on all of these and it gives you a little bit of information about each of them. That's just something that's cool there. But I do like this, how you did it here. I do like and enjoy it. I think it's very steadfast and positive, and it's definitely going to help people read. I'm not sure actually on the reading side if you've all tested this font to make sure it actually works, because it looks like a very out of the blue font that I've never seen before. So I'm actually interested to hear your opinions on that. So Bob, I noticed you said you had an SEO company already, and that's very interesting to me. Just reading that, very, very interested to see just exactly how much work has been done behind the scenes with them, because here it looks like very minor work has been done. So I'll just go quickly through and as simple as possible to make sure you understand. So these are just some of the metrics out of your website based on a website that we use called Ahrefs, which gives us in detailed things about a website. For example, referring domains are the most important thing, if not, the biggest. And then there's organic keywords, but referring domains are one of the most important things Google uses to see how far they can rank you. So I use this example in every single one of these videos. So basically the example is, let's say Google themselves decide, you know what, we like Alaska Law Group. So they just put a giant thing right here, your website, and it links people to your website. Google would be referring to your website. So that would be considered a referring domain because it's sending and referring people to your website. So that's the exact same thing. You have 4. Google recommends at least 30 and 40 or 50, at least in that range. So it's very important to have a lot of these, but it looks here you don't actually have that many, and that's the problem. So that's why I was confused just a little bit of how much work has really been done with this SEO company that you're supposed to have. So you have 4, and that's first seen 2019. Then there's one from March. They're actually pretty easy to get, but when it comes to law, they're more difficult to get because you want more trustworthy companies talking about your business. You want a local newspaper talking about your business in their legal op-eds. So that's the most important thing. It's really, really important to have these referring domains. But less of that, let's go to the organic keywords. These are the keywords that Google is pulling out of your website. Like I said, it's very, very important. So let's say child custody. That would be a keyword that Google would pull out of your website. And because Google knows where you're located, just because of the fact that there's Alaska Defense Team. It talks about where you're located. Google also knows you're located in Alaska, and then it knows your location and your address. Google can read this stuff. So what the algorithm is doing is it takes these keywords and it says, let's rank them for this. But you have to do work for them. DUI defense, right? This would be a keyword. For example, when people are searching Wolfgram Law Firm, you're showing up in 78th. And I'm guessing Wolfgram is in Alaska too. But this is the problem right here. You have two of these. For example, on our own website, we have 21 of these. And it's very important. So our former name was Olympic City SEO. We're ranking third for that, but we're also ranking first for Olympic City SEO reviews. We're ranking essentially for our own keywords. That's the most important thing. We're ranking for Colorado Springs SEO, which is our local. So these are the keywords that people can search and find our company through. So for example, we have a little blog post about the Blue Rocket SEO scam, and this just gets people to click on that and read more about it, and then they can definitely get into more of our website. So that's just a little bit of how the keyword thing works. But looking here, you have two of these and 2 pages. Child custody, like I said, is a keyword there. So you're ranking for this 47th. You're ranking for child custody 47th in Alaska. 10 people are searching for it monthly. So this is very poor. This is what I was confused about. If you already have an SEO company that's working with you, that's what I was confused about. Why you're only ranking for 2 keywords, and that's very poor. I showed you our example, and we're not really primarily focused on our keywords that much because we're getting our businesses through other things. People aren't searching for SEO services and clicking and calling. That's not necessarily what happens all the time, but for a law firm, people do that. So it's just something I was confused about. So just a little bit of our process before I get into more. What we do is when it comes to keywords, we list them out. This is our initial audit we did with a company, LV QuickToe, that works in Vegas. We list out the keywords we want your website to be ranking for. We figure out how difficult it's going to be to rank your website for that, and we figure out how many people are searching it. We then lay out what the navigation of your page is. We figure out the submenus and the pages we want to embed the keywords into in a way that it's not too spammy, but at the same time, Google can understand it. And we list out all the keywords we want on that. We also do content, so we'll make sure there's different contents. For example, fast towing Las Vegas. That will be a content. Best towing companies Las Vegas. And then we'll put the keywords in there. And it's very, very important to just do that. And this is just the initial audit. So there's way more that goes into it. And this right here, this little not secure sign right there, is something we'd be able to fix very quickly. But just on more though, this is what we've been working with in the last couple of months. This is a company that we've been working with for the last couple of weeks here. And we've been growing their searches higher and higher. And that's the most important thing. HGH Meds is a company we've been working with for the last few months as well. And we've gotten them to 5th. And that's, 1,600 people searching that term alone. And they're 5th. And that's just the benchmark, but there's obviously way more. I wanted to show you our own website, even though we don't primarily focus all this SEO. Well, what happened there? All right, well, here's LV QuickToe we just showed you. We've been working with them for the last couple of months, and we're constantly getting them higher and higher. For example, I said towing Las Vegas. That was one of the keywords, towing Las Vegas. And we've gotten them. Where did we've gotten them from all the way, I think, a month ago or 2 months ago, they were 47th. We've gotten them all the way to 13 using the methods. And yesterday they were 14th, and now we've gotten them to 13. This takes a process. It takes some time. Kelly in Vegas is also another company, Las Vegas, we've been working with. This keyword, thousands of people searching it, hundreds of people actually. And we got her from 55 at the beginning of the middle of last month, so 30 days ago, 55th position in the searches, all the way to 12th. And this is just some of the progression that's been we've been working with, getting her to 7th, And that's the most important thing. So these are just some of the things that we've been doing over the last couple of months. It's really important, especially where the market is where it is, to capitalize. I'm trying to look for our own company. There we go. We got ourselves from not being able to rank all the way to 55th position. So that's something very cool. So yeah, just there. Look, Bob, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to create this. Really has been my pleasure. I hope this helped and you learned something out of it. If you did, make sure you tell me and let us know. But yeah, it's been an amazing day. I hope you've had an amazing day as well. It's been me, George, and I'm going to go.